When the temperature rose in the cellar, fermentation restarted and the pressure in the bottle increased and bottles started to explode. Yeah, I mean... Lieve allemaal, Queridos, Toditos. It's December 31st, 2021. The last 3 hours of this year have commenced. This is Loqo Danii, also better known as Daniel Altena Blom de Bover Garcia, but that's a really long name. In case you see me on the video recording, you see me drinking this beautiful glass. This is what I call the Táabay Royale. This is a mix. It's basically a variation on the world famous Bellini, on the Mimosa. It is champagne, or in this case it's prosecco, but that's a secret. Mixed with hectare, this beautiful, lovely Mayan liqueur made from honey from the Yucatan Peninsula, anise or anise, and with a distilled base of rum. It's beautiful, it's delicious. Actually, I made this cocktail yesterday, but then something went wrong with the audio, so I record this whole thing all over again. It's beautiful. It's just one part of hectare and 4 parts of your prosecco, your cava, your champagne, you call it, you name it. We're gonna make it easy because it's December 31st, it's the day of champagne, it's the celebration of champagne. But today we are going to do the champagne quiz. I found it here on a website. It's called Sparkling World, and in case you're watching this on YouTube, I will also show the questions. The good thing about this quiz is that the questions are always changing, so you never know what you get. So you really are exposed, as we say in Dutch. Je gaat met de billen bloot. There's no way to hide. I can succeed, I can fail. Is champagne my expertise? I also dare to say I know quite a bit. I'm really into terroirs of drinks. It's beautiful. We can select our level here. We can choose beginner, enthusiast and expert. So let's start with beginner and see how we do it. Ideal for those curious about champagne and interested in discovering its main characteristics. Let's do with that. We'll see how we do, and then we can continue to enthusiast or maybe even expert. Off we go, beginner, question number 1. And of course, don't forget that if you have questions about champagne or any other topic in the world of cocktails, of liquid gastronomy, leisure, just send me, let me know, and I will answer your questions. So we are going to have 10 questions about champagne, and I'm very curious how you're doing it. And then every time you can pause the video, you can do it yourself. But yeah, if you only hear me and you don't see me, it's okay, it's okay. First question, it's the category General and Geography. How large is the surface of a 1 hectare vineyard or vineyard? 1,000 square meters, 10,000 square meters, or 1 square kilometer? Give you 3 seconds to think about it. Or 7 seconds, I don't know yet. There you go, I choose 4. Answer B, 10,000 square meters. A hectare is the equivalent to 10,000 square meters or 0.01 square kilometers. I mean, this has nothing to do with champagne, just basic knowledge. Question number 2, also in the category General and Geography. Where do the grapes used to produce champagne come from? A specific area in France, B, all over France, or C, all over the European Union? This one shouldn't be too tough, is it? This is of course a specific area in France. A, because Champagne is a region up in the north of France, and actually it's a really bad area to grow grapes and to make champagne and wine in general. But still they made it. But that's an interesting topic to dive into some other day. It says, because answer A is of course correct, a specific area in France, because champagne is produced from the grapes grown within the defined areas of the Champagne appellation. The terroirs, beautiful word, I really am going to do a terroir podcast, a terroir show. The terroirs of the appellation are located in the communes of the French departments Aisne, Aube, Haute-Marne, Marne, and Seine-et-Marne. Let's go to question number 3 in category names and labeling. Which Cru Champagne label is considered to be the most prestigious? Premier Cru, Grand Cru, or Cru? Time is ticking. Are you ready to choose my answer? It's of course answer B, Grand Cru. The Échelle de Cru rating system was abolished in Champagne in 2006, but the right to mention the historic title on wine labels was retained. Grand Cru was the most prestigious and rated 100%, while Premier Cru was rated from 99% to 90%, and Cru was rated below 90%. Blah blah blah. It's Grand Cru. 3 out of 3. That's a good score to start with. Number 4, category general and geography. What types of wine are produced in the Champagne region? A. Sparkling wines. B. Still red wines and sparkling wines. Or C. Still red, pink and white wines, sparkling wines and fortified wines. Think about this question. Of course, the right answer is answer number C. The Champagne region has 3 appellations and produces a vast assortment of wines as well as a champagne. There are the red, pink and white still wines, the Cateau Champenois, Bouzy Rouge and the Rosé de Rissé, or Rosé de Rissé. Fortified wines such as Ratafia and also some distilled alcoholic beverages. The one must have been a little bit tougher. Then we go to question number 5. In the category names and labeling, what is a Blanc de Noir? Is it A, white champagne made exclusively from Pinot Noir grapes, B, a white champagne made exclusively from Meunier grapes, or C, a white champagne made with one or more of the authorized black grape varieties? So Pinot Noir, Meunier, or several black grapes. Time is ticking. I already make my choice. There we go. It's of course number C. Blanc de Noir Champagne can be made from either Pinot Noir or Meunier, or a blend of both. They are the only 2 black grape varieties authorized for making champagne. So now you know. Blanc de Noir can be made from Pinot Noir or Meunier. Number 6. In the category harvesting and pressing, which harvesting methods are recognized in Champagne? A, by hand, B, automated, or C, both by hand and automated? Ooh. It's of course answer number A. Harvesting is carried out strictly by hand in the Champagne wine region. Come on, it's Champagne. We are not using machines and automation. Categories number 7, category general and geography. What is the name of the wine district nearest to Reims? A, Montagne de Reims, B, Vallée de Reims, or C, Côte de Reims? This one is difficult. Yeah, I'm not sure. Woo! This is gonna be just a guess because I don't know. Montagne de Reims, it means literally the mountains around Reims. Here they're not mountainous over there. Vallée de Reims, I cannot imagine there's like a valley over there because it's the north of France, and I will go for Côte de Reims. Number C, which is wrong. The Montagne de Reims was the answer. The Montagne de Reims is only 280 meters above sea level. That's what I said. I mean, it's not really that much of mountainous over there. But it stands out with respect to all the low-lying land surrounding it. Okay, fair enough. It's like the same as in the south of the Netherlands. Actually, I'm in the Netherlands visiting my mom and my family over here. The vineyards are situated on its upper slopes. Okay, there you go. Question number 8. General and geography is the category. Why was champagne known as the devil's wine in the 17th century? This is a fun question because I actually know this question because a champagne producer has taught me this. A, because the bottles exploded or the corks popped unexpectedly when resting in the cellar. B, because champagne was white, while red wine was used during religious ceremonies. Or C, because champagne was not limpid and left the consumer with a terrible headache. For me, this is really easy. So is it because of unexpected pops and explosions in the cellars, the white and the red and religious ceremonies, or was it because it was not limpid and gave headaches? Well, actually, it's answer A, because the fermentation process, or the second fermentation, is in the bottle. That's why you always have this caps on top of the champagne bottles, and they popped open. A lack of understanding of the relationship between temperature and fermentation meant that some wines were bottled before alcoholic fermentation had been completed. When the temperature rose in the cellar, fermentation restarted and the pressure in the bottle increased and bottles started to explode. Yeah, I mean, back when in the day, probably they didn't really have the same knowledge as we have nowadays. I mean, 17th century, yeah. But they learn. Question 9 out of 10. Production methods. What instrument is used to hold the bottles while riddling champagne by hand? Is it the A, the claw, B, the pupitre, or C, the giro palette? Well, I know for sure it's not the claw, because the claw is something else. And maybe they give me a question about the claw, so let's keep that one for another question if they ask about it. And I also know it's not the giro palette, so it should be the pupitre, and that's of course the wooden rack. So the answer is B. Answer B. The pupitre is the traditional wooden rack for riddling bottles by hand. The automated process is carried out by a giro palette. So it was answer B, the pupitre, and the close has nothing to do with riddling the champagne. Last question, number 10, in the category names and labeling. What is a Blanc de Blanc? A white of whites. Blanc de Blancs. A champagne made exclusively from Chardonnay grapes. B, a champagne made mainly from Chardonnay grapes. Or C, a champagne made from one or more of the authorized white grape varieties. It's almost the same question as we had earlier, but then it was about the black ones, about the Pinot Noir and the Meunier. So this is the same answer. I'm going for answer C, a champagne made from one or more of the authorized white grape varieties, which of course is the right answer because there are only 2 black grape varieties, but there are 4 white grape varieties which are authorized to make champagne. A Blanc de Blanc champagne can be made from one or more of the 4, there you go, white grape varieties recognized for the champagne appellation d'origine. But most, of course, most are made exclusively from Chardonnay grapes. We have had 10 questions. How much questions did you answer right? How many? How many? I scored 8 out of 10 because I didn't know the question about Reims, about the Montagne, the valley, or the Côte de Reims. And to be honest, I was not sure about the fact that they also produce a vermouth over there in Champagne, so I also didn't have that one correct. My score is 8 out of 10. Consider yourself a young Champagne starting to show its character. I have good potential for aging and gaining in complexity. Well, you can you can high five me on that one. By the way, before we end this recording of today, of the last year of 2021, let me share you the last fact, because in the penultimate question, or it was the last question, they asked about the white grape varieties in Champagne. We already know that we have the Pinot Noir and the Pinot Meunier, which are the black grape varieties. And then we have the Chardonnay, which is a white grape in the Champagne region. These three grape varieties are already accounting for, I don't know, over 90, 95, perhaps even more percent of all the champagnes. But then you can also use the Petit Meunier and the Arbanne, and you have the Pinot Gris and the Pinot Blanc. So then actually you have 7. Maybe we can just add the Pinot Gris and the Pinot Blanc together. That will be fine, because you have 2 white grapes and 2 black grapes and 4 white grapes, and I now mentioned 7. And it also shows that that actually I was confusing myself, because yes, there is Pinot Noir, Pinot Blanc and Pinot Gris. You have the Sauvignon Blanc, but not the Sauvignon Noir. So that's the thing. Now we have the overall picture. Champagne, it's beautiful. And of course, as per usual, as I always say in my videos as well, only here at Xúuch with Loqo Danii, we toast with our feet in Africa, our minds in Europe, our hearts always beating in Latino America. Always looking forward to explore and discover much, much more. Santé, saluta! Proost! Happy New Year. It is fun, I'm taking a little bit of my champagne. I will eat an olive oil later tonight. Bonne nouvelle année, as they say in Champagne in France. We are going to discover everything about the world of liquid gastronomy. I can do this in Spanish as well, why not?